Hello and welcome. I thought in this video I will give you a short tour and review of the Dondoko Island minigame in Yakuza 8 Infinite Wealth. It took me around 10 hours to finish it, and disclaimer, what you're about to see in this video is from a very uncreative person. So my island is just random stuff thrown around, and quite frankly it looks like shit. So I'm sorry for that one, but I'm just going to show it here and there, and you can see how a person does it who has no idea how to make a pleasing little island. So to start out, what is the Dondoko Island minigame all about? It was promised as a kind of Animal Crossing-like minigame, and I think they delivered. Not only with the bug catching and the getting resources and the fighting aspect and the whole building up, but it captures the feel, I think. It's about building a 0-star resort, so a deserted island that is full of trash, back to a 4-star resort, and in the end even a 5-star resort. In the meanwhile, you fight pirates who are trashing the island, and you start inviting guests and try to keep the guests happy. There's different things you can do. You can give them presents, you can make a fire dance, sing in front of a bonfire for them.
In the depths of your despair, the pot is dark. Deep in your nightmare, the demon bot. Come on, we're dining in hell. Party night! You guys feel good? Let's keep it going!
Throughout the game, you build up your island, becomes bigger, you invite more people, they give you more money, you can build it up even bigger, better, more beautiful, and in the end you have your 5-star resort. Everything you're seeing in this video is my Dondoko Island, and I've made it to 5 stars, finished the story, and giving you a quick overview right at the end of the minigame. So what's positive about it? I wasn't ever really bored doing it. It took me 10 hours, which for a game within a game is quite frankly pretty amazing. It integrates its system very well into the game. So there's another big minigame called Sujimon, which is kind of a Pokemon-like game, and it integrates it. There's the Dondoko farm where your Sujimon can work, and there's 4 stations. They can work in a workshop and get you money. They can train, they can grow crops at the fields or gather trash, which is your building material. So the whole systems flow very nicely into each other. Also, the whole guest thing is very engaging for the first few times. It gets repetitive, but that's for later. And one big plus, whenever there's an empty island and people are asked to make it pretty and build it, I'm actually excited to see what others build. Because I'm the least creative person, but I can think of a few people who might actually deliver something that is pretty to look at. There's also a wide variety of buildings you can build, of furniture you can place, and I think they've done a great job because it looks quite nice. I think they reused a lot of assets from their previous games or even this game, and some of the buildings you can place are, I think, taken directly out of other places on the map. Now for the more negative aspects, I found the minigame towards the end to be very repetitive. I was quite happy when I saw that when you reach a 4-star resort, the step towards the 5-star resort is like 1 hour or so. So that one is really quick, but reaching the 4-star resorts, that took me like 9 hours. As you can see in the video, it took me around 30 days. The building aspect itself was very nice, but I thought the story to be kind of bad or uninteresting, especially compared to some other side stories. They're never that as great as the main story, which would be crazy if they put a minigame in it that has a more engaging story than the main story. But this one was especially bad in my opinion. Another negative thing is that once you reach your 5 stars, there's not much left to do. There's no reason to build more. There's no reason to gather trash anymore because you don't need to build quite that much anymore. There's just not much to do. You still get money for every guest, and you can convert that money into dollars or yen that you can use in the main game. But still, my whole motivation to play this minigame dropped off quite steeply after reaching 5 stars. There's also some aspects I'm not the biggest fan of. The whole gather $100 and then you level it up and get more popular. But they balanced it in a way that never made it feel like it's gatekeeping or it's grindy. So I just played those 10 hours like I would without focusing too much on any particular aspect, and I've reached the end and I played through it without problems. So they tried the hardest to not make it too grindy, and I think they did a great job with it. So overall, a quick summary. I think it's an amazing minigame. It's definitely the biggest minigame and the most work they ever put into it. You can see just how much they cared about this one, and it really shows, and it's, in my opinion, one of the greatest minigames, which brings me to my last point, which I can't explain completely, but in my opinion, this is a solid number 2 in terms of best minigames of all time, but it just quite didn't hit the Cabaret Club in Yakuza 0.
いらっしゃいませお客様
いらっしゃいませ
The Cabaret Club in Yakuza 0 was just perfect. And this one comes close, and it's definitely the closest they've ever been in my opinion. But I don't know why. It is much more simple. The story is probably equally as bad, but the Cabaret Club in its simplicity was just perfect, I think. And Dondoko Island comes as a close second in my opinion.